Hello, my name is David Ruben. Thank you for visiting my website. Today I'm going to give a brief overview of custody in the state of Maryland. There are two kinds of custody. We have legal custody and we have physical custody. Some people say, I want full custody, and really, one, there's no term like that in Maryland. We don't have a term called full custody, and if we do have such a term, then what they mean is I want sole legal and sole physical custody of the minor child. So an explanation of what those mean will give you an idea. Sometimes people think, well, full custody means I can do whatever I want whenever I want. No such thing. It doesn't work that way in Maryland. Legal custody is decision making, important major decisions, not minor decisions. What we say is we have important decisions are educational decisions, where the child's going to go to school. Is the child going to go to private school? Does the child need an IEP? One party thinks so, the other party doesn't think so. If you can't agree, one parent probably needs to have sole legal custody so that parent can make the decision. That's what legal custody is, and that's all it is. Most of the time, if parties can generally get along with each other and communicate with each other for the best interest of their child, a court's going to give joint legal custody, which means you have to make all these decisions together. They're assuming that people can put the children before themselves, communicate, and make the best decision. Usually it's really obvious. But if there is not an obvious answer, if it really is one of those things where both people, mother and father, really do disagree, then you have to go back to court and have a judge make the decision, or give sole legal custody to one of the parents, and then that parent will make it. Or if two people are fighting all the time and they can't agree on anything, then a judge is going to say, you know what, I'm just going to give sole legal custody to one of the parents. Usually, that's the parent who the child lives with. If it's joint physical custody, it just depends on what parent, the judge, they look at the decisions they've made in the past, and they make a guess as to which parent's going to make the best decisions in the future. So the goal is to have joint legal custody. There is no presumption of joint legal custody in Maryland like there is in other states. It starts from the premise that that's probably the best thing for kids, to have two parents making equal decisions, but if not, then one parent will make the decision. Physical custody is nothing more than an access schedule. When is the child going to be with dad, and when is the child going to be with mom? Mothers and fathers and people in these custody, they get caught up in these terms. Well, I want primary, I want sole, I want residential. They all mean the same thing. If you have primary physical custody or sole physical custody or residential physical custody, then that means that the child probably lives with you more than half the time and lives with the other parent the other time. The words primary and residential and sole really only matter when you're talking about school district. If you live in two different school districts, even if you have 50-50 physical custody, if you have sole physical, then the child, or residential, then the child's probably going to go to school in your district. But what does it mean? What does physical custody mean? Again, it's nothing more than an access schedule. When is the child going to be with mom? When is the child going to be with dad? It could be the traditional, which is really not traditional anymore, with mom during the week and dad every other weekend. It could be what we call 50-50, which we call shared or joint physical custody, 1 week on, 1 week off. It could be 4-3, 3-4, which is a joint physical custody. It could be Monday, Tuesday with mom, Wednesday. It can be whatever the parents agree is in the best interest of the children. That's the goal. We have mediation in just about all cases, and the mediator's job and the parent's job, they take parenting classes, is to get a schedule that they believe works best for the children in this particular case. In another video, I'm going to tell you what the judge looks at to determine what is in the children's best interest. I'm going to talk about child support in another video as well, and I'll try to explain why the number of overnights is important for child support only. But when the court's talking about physical custody, it's only doing one thing. I think, the judge says, this is the best arrangement for this particular child or children because I think these children will thrive best in this arrangement. Again, next video, I'll talk about the factors that the judge looks at in determining what access schedule is best for the kids.